Good evening, guys. It is 5:30 p.m., which means it's time for Gist Banter, all that is trending and exclusive on social media. You're watching Afia TV Official on Afia TV. My name is Favor Obinyalubai, Official Gist Buddy, and there's no longer any first again in January because it's already a week since the year started. I mean, what have you achieved so far? Yes, so I'm starting this year with pressure. What have you achieved so far? 8 days in January now, I think. Is that 8 or 7? I'm even losing count. But what have you? No, it's 8. It's 8. I'm sure it's 8. What have you achieved so far? For the past 8 days, what have you been doing with your life? You say you're going to be serious this year. What have you seriously done? Nothing. Wasting your time and effort. I'm going to take it easy because I'm also shouting at myself. But yeah, we have a lot of things that have been happening. I mean, this year has been starting on a really, really great note, if I used to say so myself. Like, we have bass and boss. This is happening here. They are doing this one. They are doing that one. People are saying different things. But we're going to obviously start off with the conversation, bringing it, turning it back to the Southeast. And people have made different observations about the security in the Southeast because a lot of people make it seem like, oh, the Southeast is a war zone. Everybody's hiding under bunkers. People are building caves. This like Afghanistan. We are fighting. There's like World War III or IV that is happening here. But that's not the case of some people. So now it's not a case of, are we exaggerating what is happening in the Southeast? And I'm going to use the personal encounters of a couple of people on X and what they've experienced. I'm going to start with Ifi Odunze. Ifi says, I spent and toured Anambra the way I wanted for 3 weeks with public transportation, private car, without security. Yet I barely faced any of the problems I've been scared to go to my own homeland because of. Now, is this insecurity thing being exaggerated on social media, or did I just go during a safe time? Because so far, it looks to me like that there is an agenda behind Southeast is not safe. Many of us have gone, attended events, even at night, done merriments on the streets on weekend nights and come back to base. We did not hear gunshots once, kidnapping once, and I'm open to being educated on this. I know many of us in Abuja remember how crazy the city was towards the end of 2023 and beginning of last year. The people getting kidnapped from their houses, the ones who got shot and robbed in Gwarimpa on the road. Why is this not seen as Abuja is not safe? This is a national security issue, if anything, not one region. In 2023, in Abuja, there were countless kidnappings and one-child situations. Many zones were flagged because of this, police warnings everywhere. I was a victim of one chance at 8 a.m. on my way to work, which made me start using Uber, no matter the cost. So was my sister who was kidnapped. There was no warning in Abuja. There was no Abuja is unsafe scattered online for years. So now she obviously did like a comparison, being that she's based in Abuja, or saying that, I experienced rather in Abuja, when she stayed in Abuja, given 2023, the insecurity that they faced, one chance, and even her being a victim of one chance, and her sister as well, So it's one thing when people are comparing and they say, oh, I heard one time, this is something that happened to this lady, happened to her, happened to her sister, and I think this is actually I think I can even share a personal experience because last year, throughout last year, I stopped using, I don't have a car, so people should. Not you people should, but I don't know. It's not my New Year resolution. But yeah, let me not digress this year. My New Year resolution is to stop digressing. But yeah, throughout last year, I did not use the public transport of entering buses because of the stories I have heard. So earlier, I think it's late 2023, a lot of my colleagues, my friends, a lot of people were victims of this one chance thing that was going on I will not say in Enugu, because that's how they also robbed one of my friends. So the driver or somebody in the car, I don't even know if it's juju or if it's clear eye, but they will just do something. Well, one chance, sometimes it might be juju, sometimes it's clear eye, but they'll just do something, distract you basically, and then steal your phone. So I had a couple of colleagues that lost their phones because of that. I knew someone who lost their phones because of that. And even my sister, this one was clear eye because they slapped her and collected the phone. But because of that, and sometimes I like to learn from people's experiences. I don't have to wait for it to happen to me. So I can definitely relate to what Ify said about her, when she was a victim of one chance and she was like, she's going to start to use Uber no matter the cost because, it's significantly safer than being, in a public bus. Now, this is everybody and their pockets. Before you say, I say this one, Please, so please, but yeah, it's significantly safer. So yeah, a lot of people have shared these experiences. But now, when this happened to my sister, it happened to her in Lagos. So this one chance can happen anywhere. It's not just but then it was happening to my colleagues here in Enugu and all of that. So because of that, I was like, you know what? Let me just move away from that. So people have tried to like change their lifestyles because of the security thing. However, we are not, there are people who are making it look like as if, it's crazier in the southeast. I think that is where Ife is coming from and saying, Abuja, these are things that happen to her in Abuja, because these things happen to her in Abuja. But she has been in the southeast, and she said she was in Anambra, and she said she entered car, she entered public transport, private car, entered public transport, and this was not her reality. She did not see any of the things that they were saying are happening in Anambra. Anambra is hot. Anambra. Think I should use this medium to tell my mother any small thing. East is hot. East is hot. I don't know who's giving this man information. I don't know who's giving this man information. How many states has this man been into the southeast? Any small thing, East is hot. East is hot. Like, so when we say people abroad are thinking the East is hot, abroad is even far. People in Lagos think that the East is hot. People in Abuja, people that are in Port Harcourt, people that are not so far away. How many hours square, if by road, how many hours square is Lagos? But people think, East is hot, East is hot. But that's not the reality. And I would say that people should come back. So people should come back and see what really is going on here. It is not, if I say it's not happening, it is, but now people are now asking this question. If he's asking this question, is it being exaggerated? Is it being exaggerated? Are we intentionally making this thing look worse than it is? And if there are people that are doing this, what is their agenda? What is the notion we're trying to paint by making it look like as if the Southeast is unsafe? Looked at a headline today on the morning show about a bombing in Abuja. Nobody is saying anything about that. A school was bombed in Abuja. We have an attack on Borno, and the death toll is increasing. So when the North, people are trying to make it look like as if it is a norm for the North, and however, the Southeast is now becoming, so unsafe. But let's take a look at some of the comments. You want to see before you believe. Anything that is being said about the worst state of insecurity in the Southeast now, so it be. Make somebody no come follow this thing you talk here now and go and fall victim. They are deliberately exaggerating the reality. Same time, to be honest, it's not overdone. I can tell you as someone that travels to eat at least 4 times a year that the risks are real. Doesn't mean people can't live or move around, but precautions are still necessary. All over the world, security challenges affect less than 1% of the populace at any given time. The difference between Sena crimes and Nigeria is that you cannot walk into a bar, shoot up the place, and not get caught in 21 days. This happens in Nigeria very regularly. Within the same time you were in Anambra touring, partying, and having fun, people still got kidnapped in Anambra. People still got killed in Anambra. If the populace knew with certainty that these dregs of the society would be apprehended and brought to justice, maybe the public outcry would be less. During the festive season, the situation is not always intense. Besides, they apply a guerrilla warfare tactic when they are fully active. You came home during a fairly safe time, and I'm glad you had a great time. Please do not patronize Anambra State again next year. Thank you. I live in Anambra, and some parts of it have it worse than others. My mom is from Osume in Newi South, and they don't have it funny over there when in mass parading. Thing is, we Igbos are overly critical of ourselves, and I agree that it is over-exaggerated to some extent. Well, let's move over to Ben Kingsley Washara's account of it. And he says, I drove from Enugu to Onitsha from 11 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Got to Onitsha, then drove another 1 hour, 30 minutes to Ihala for a wake keep. I was aghast that by the time of the night, plethora of cars and other vehicles were still moving around in droves. Insecurity in Southeast is exaggerated, but especially by people living outside Southeast. Even the people living were surprised at my surprise. Like, it's very usual and common. People need to stop with this narrative that the SE is a death trap. I'm not denying the insecurity challenges, but it is exaggerated. Couple of comments. Until them kidnap you, then you go know. It is over-exaggerated. There's insecurity quite all right, but not the way people, especially those outside, paint it. Exactly what I've been saying. There's insecurity, but the way people paint it is like saying a war zone. From my personal experience traveling in the evening in the Southeast, the hours from 7 to 10 p.m. is usually not safe. But from 11 to 2 a.m. in the morning, it is best to travel because all the bad guys have gone to sleep. If you meet them in those early morning hours, just know they came for you. What angle is this? Because what angle is this? Same travel we make almost every day. Wow. So from 7 to 10 p.m. is not safe, but 11 to 2 a.m. So wow, The bad guys in the south is know when to sleep. Ben, the insecurity is not exaggerated. There are places where it is high and others where it is low. If you are driving from Iyala to Iseke or Sumoru, your perspective would be different. How can you make your hypothesis with just one event? So, Ndunanu Abu Imadu, I wish you well. People in Southeast already know these areas. Those outside don't even know where the red line begins or ends. My friend in Enugu, each time I call this guy, is always outside day and night. I told him to be careful because what we read online is massive. He responded that even them living in Enugu, things they read about Enugu online is worrisome. The reality is different. Why would there be any atom of insecurity as well? I just watched the video posted here by the ex-handle of Osu local government. What's happening there has no comparison, even in Ukraine, that's in war. So it's either you are not in the southeast or you chose to ignore. Well, I think the thing is, at the end of the day, insecurity is everywhere. I don't think there's any place that is 100% safe. Insecurity is everywhere. And to be fair, we're not going to deny that the rising insecurity in the southeast. However, I still believe that it is exaggerated. I still believe that it is largely exaggerated. Of course, there are hotspots. There are hotspots in Enugu. I mean, I think along that Nsukka Road, there are hotspots there. Hiala is a hotspot. I think it's also a hotspot. I think those are the places I know. I don't really know of any hotspots in Abia or in Ebonyi. I think Abia and Ebonyi, especially Ebonyi, I don't know about Avia, but those places are relatively, what am I saying? They are safer, but I think that there are hotspots in different states. And sometimes it could also be targeted. And, somebody also said that there are times when they come out and times when they come out to operate, which is true. There are people that say, I think, especially that on Nsukka Road, they're like, oh, don't come out by this time, don't come out by this time, So I agree that there are places that are unsafe. I agree that there are measures that we can put in place to protect ourselves, try and not do things so late in the evening, you know that this place is not very safe. Just try and be in your house, do what you can, because last, now God they protect, but do what you can to protect yourself and all of that. Rather to be safe than sorry, Abby. That's not what they say. So yeah, I know that, there are places, I know there are things that you can do, but this is just my personal opinion, I still feel like it is over-exaggerated. Everywhere is unsafe. There's nowhere that is 100% safe, but we are making this look like, it is a war zone. It is not safe. There are a lot of unsafe places, but it's not that crazy. I don't know if I'm contradicting myself, but we'll go on a very quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the stories we have on Official today. Just stay. Welcome back to the program. You're still watching that. I want to say you're still watching the Afia Morning Show. It's not. You're still watching Afia TV Official, and we've just been joined by Glossy, who is a music artist. How are you doing, Glossy?
I'm great, thank you.
You look great. How are you doing? I think this is your color. What color is this? Because I can be colorblind. This is yellow, right?
Yeah.
Is this mustard yellow?
Something like that.
You look really good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. For finding the time. Thank you for finding the time. These music artists, people are very busy, booked, busy, Is it concert you're coming from?
Well, no, it's my house.
But you had a concert in your house. But yeah, that's fine. Tell us a bit about Glossy. So you're a music artist?
Yeah.
What do you do? What's your genre of music? I like your earrings, by the way.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm focused on Afrofusion.
You people just like to speak English. Give me Afrofusion. What is Afrofusion? Like fusion, fusion. What are people fusing?
Afrofusion is more like, it's not purely Afrobeats, but a mixed version, including R&B and soul music.
Okay.
That's why you call it's more complicated version of Afro.
Okay, so it's like mixed with, it's not pure Afrobeats, it's like, has other elements in it, so that's why it's called Afrofusion.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So how long have you been in music professionally?
Well, professionally, I started 2021.
Oh, okay.
But I recorded my first track around 2019. Yeah, but professionally 2021. So it's been like, let's say 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
How's the journey been for you so far?
I'm not gonna lie, it's been crazily amazing. The process is what I had to learn from every single time. The journey has been hard, easy, had its own experiences and its own lessons that has taught me. But so far so good. It's been really great.
How do you deal with stage fright? Have you performed? Have you been on any stages?
A lot of stages.
A lot of stages. How do you deal with stage fright?
Well,
do you have straight? Because people don't have, like, people just walk on stage and be like, yo, it's your girl. Like, you know, some people are like graced and, you know, have that not even just stage presence, just have that confidence and to deal with it, you know. How do you deal with stage fright?
Well, dealing with stage fright is about you and your own inner lesson you teach to yourself. And first of all, I'm a thespian from TFS, so that word on its own made me bold. So I don't think I've really dealt with stage fright before, because naturally I'm an outspoken person. Okay. So sometimes I do get tense when I overthink it. Yeah. I swear, when I overthink it. But so far, I don't think stage fright is a hindrance for my stage performances.
Yeah. What about stage presence?
Well, I believe I have a very outstanding stage presence because I'm able to control the crowd and carry my people along whenever I'm on stage. So I do get that compliment most times that my stage performance and presence is usually really unique. So I think I'm actually good to go on that aspect.
Like I said, I think I'm actually good to go on that aspect. Yeah. Well, control the crowd, control the crowd. Well, let's move, because obviously it's not an interview. You know, it's also to get to know you a bit better, and of course for the audience. But now I want to ask, what is your take on DNA tests? Do you think, would you be offended? Now let's personalize it a bit more. Since we're still getting to know you, would you be offended if your partner asked for a DNA test? Wow. You wish to do You wish to
Well, that would come up with a lot of thoughts to me personally, honestly. Because DNA test for our child. Hey, I've not really thought of my reaction concerning that, but I feel a DNA test, if my partner asks me for a DNA test, I want to know why exactly you want to do it.
Yeah,
before we kick off. And I don't really see it as a big deal, depending on our connection.
Yeah, me personally, I said it a couple of times that I don't think that it's a big deal. I would also want to do DNA test because I think I've watched too many Philippine film and child swapping to just, you know, so along the line, you are sure that you're raising your own child, or you're sure that, you know, this child is, do you understand? Somebody who just...
Some kind of hospital backyard movement.
Do you understand? You're born boy now, they'll say, oh, another rich man wants boy. You know, I don't know, maybe it's too much Nollywood, maybe it's too much Philippine Mara and Clara thing. But personally,
you know,
do you get?
I literally watched that movie.
So personally, I'm like, you know what, I want to do, I think it's great for everybody to be aware of, oh, this is your child, do you understand? Just have that clarity. And let that clarity just be there. That's me personally. But we're unfortunately out of time due to some reasons. I'm joking. Obviously, you're not in charge of time, but we're out of time. Thank you so much, Glossy, for taking our time to join us this evening. And of course, to you, our viewers, thank you very much for watching Afia TV Official today. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Afia TV Official. My name is Favor Obinyaluba. Enjoy the rest of your day.